Good afternoon. You're looking high atop Columbia. It is Tuesday, November the 4th. We're in the home stretch. Here's what's making news at this hour.
We've enjoyed a string of some very nice days, but it looks like it may be coming to an end with an approaching cold front.
The speeches are over, the ads are done. It's time to vote for the 44th President of America. We have a report of the state of the presidential election.
Voters in Missouri are voting for a new governor today. We have live team coverage of that and the race for the 9th Congressional District.
And a man is dead tonight after taking a gunshot wound to the chest at a local park. KOMU 8 News at 5 starts now.
You're watching KOMU 8 News, your first and only local news in HD.
Gunfire breaks out in a Columbia park this afternoon, leaving a father of 2 dead. Good afternoon, I'm Angie Bailey.
And I'm Sarah Hill. Thanks for joining us. We'll have full Smart Decision team coverage of the big races of the day coming up in just a moment. But first, we have a homicide to tell you about. Police arrived at Columbia's Douglas Park about 1 o'clock this afternoon after reports of shots fired. Police say the suspects fired a handgun several times and then fled in a car. A family member on the scene identified the victim as 30-year-old Miles Hurd of Columbia. Emergency crews took Hurd to University Hospital where he was pronounced dead. The victim's sister-in-law talked to a KOMU 8 reporter on the scene just before being told the grim news.
A lot of them fled. We're certainly.
Police have not made any arrests yet. The suspects are described as 4 younger males. Witnesses saw them fleeing westbound on Worley in a 4-door light blue sedan, possibly a Toyota. We have finally reached the end. Election Day, it is here.
That's right, and as expected, the turnout looks massive. From Florida to Pennsylvania, from Ohio to right here in Missouri, voters are jamming the polls to pick out our next president. NBC's Steve Handelsman has the story on this highly anticipated day.
Now the nation and the world are waiting.
The campaign speeches are over, but the candidates still are getting out to get their voices heard, and they get to vote too, of course. Republican gubernatorial candidate Kenny Hulshof voted at the Columbia Public Library this morning. Hulshof's wife and daughters accompanied him to the polls. There were virtually no wait when Hulshof arrived. And a small group of supporters came out to catch a glimpse of Jay Nixon's early voting this morning in Jefferson City. Nixon, along with his wife and 2 sons, shook hands on their way to vote. They were in the precinct polling place for about 5 minutes casting their ballots. After checking his latest poll numbers, Nixon went off to St. Louis for his election night party. And we have Smart Decision team coverage tonight of the race for the next governor of Missouri. KOMU 8's Jennifer Kovaleski is live in Columbia with the Kenny Hulshof camp. But first, we'll begin with KOMU 8's Mark Welsh live in St. Louis at the Jay Nixon camp. Mark?
Yes, I'm here with the 52nd governor of Missouri, Governor Roger Wilson. You know better than anyone else what it takes to run the state. Do you think Jay Nixon's up for the challenge? Okay, Governor Roger Wilson, thanks a lot. Reporting live from the pageant in St. Louis, Mark Welsh, KOMU 8 News.
Okay, thanks so much, Mark, and we'll check back in with you a little later. Now let's go to KOMU 8's Jennifer Kovaleski at the Hulshof camp. Jennifer?
Well, we're here a little less than 2 hours before the party kicks off here at the Holiday Inn Executive Center. I'm joined here with Communication Director Scott Baker. Scott, tell me, what are the 3 key factors that have to happen in order for your candidate to win tonight? Reporting live in Columbia, Jennifer Kovaleski, KOMU 8 News.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jennifer.
Some people trying to fool Missourians into voting tomorrow. Text messages told voters they should vote tomorrow because of long lines at the polls today. Those text messages went to MU students and other people throughout the state. Misleading voters is a federal crime. Secretary of State Robin Carnahan talked about what her office is doing to stop the shenanigans.
I think it's important.
And if you've had any problems at the polls today or received a phony text, you can call the Election Division Hotline. That number is 1-800-NOW-VOTE. With Kenny Hulshof running for governor, his seat in Congress is up for grabs. We have Smart Decision team coverage tonight of the 9th Congressional District race. KOMU 8's Sayed Shabir is live in Columbia with the Judy Baker camp. But we'll begin with KOMU 8's Nick Berardini live in Columbia at the Blaine Luetkemeyer camp. Nick?
Reporting live in Columbia, Nick Berardini, KOMU 8 News.
All right, Nick, thanks a lot. We'll check back in with you later. Now we go to KOMU 8's Sayed Shabir at the Judy Baker camp. Sayed?
Reporting live in Columbia, Syed Shabir, KOMU 8 News.
All right, Syed, thanks a lot. One Mid-Missouri March party got underway very early today.
That's right. The NAACP is hosting a watch party that started at 10 o'clock this morning in downtown Columbia. The folks who were there early on ate a bite and then got out to encourage people to vote. They knocked on doors, put up signs, and gave rides to the polls.
We want to make sure that
party organizers will stay until all of the results are in, no matter how late it ends up being. Now, if you're looking for an election night watch party, you might want to check out the Smart Decision 08 event tonight. The website is teaming up with the Reynolds Journalism Institute to hold a nonpartisan election watch party. You're invited to enjoy good food and some conversation and even take part in a 4-hour live election webcast. Now, doors to the new Reynolds Journalism Institute on 9th Street open at 7:30 tonight, and it is, of course, free to the public. Also, it's not too late to learn all you can about the candidates. Click Smart Decision at KOMU.com to learn more about all the candidates as well as the issues.
Slow and steady wins the race. So can a turtle predict the presidential election?
We'll tell you who pulled out a win in this kind of showdown on KOMU 8 News at 5.
And people say this election marks an historic moment. Well, this woman has been a witness to presidential history 15 times.
And the weather has been very good to voters today, but there's a change on the way. This is, after all, November. Forecast is next on KOMU 8 News at 5.
Turnout is heavy as America selects a new president. We'll have the very first numbers, including voter attitudes. Our election night coverage gets underway on Nightly News.
And here's a live look over Highway 63 in Columbia. KOMU 8 News at 5. We'll be right back.